Clickbait, that's what it is. It shows you that these ads all show you that you could be making $2,500 a week, $3,100 a week, but it's really all just manipulation and clickbaits. It's getting you to look at the ads, getting you to inquire, getting you to call about the job posting, and then finally, once you're there, you start working and you get your first paycheck. I consult a lot of drivers right now, a ton of them. Well, I have a question for you. When do you fill up your tank? Do you fill up when you have a quarter left? Do you wait for the light to come on? Or do you ride it out until you're almost out? Yeah, that says more about your future career than you think. I've created a 3-minute personality quiz that helps you figure out what's next for you. Are you a dispatcher? Are you supposed to go into being a freight broker? Are you meant to work in safety and compliance? Or maybe you're best suited to work as a driver recruiter. Don't guess anymore. Take this free quiz and see for yourself what role fits you best. And this is so common that they go and they work, and the pay statements, they're so complicated. They don't even have the total mileage that a driver earned. They just have the gross revenue that a driver earns. And I'll show you these pay statements so you can see what I'm talking about. But a lot of it is just false and misleading, and the drivers are not happy. At the end of the day, drivers will catch on, and I will expose. And that's what I'm doing through these videos, is creating awareness for you guys out there that these things are just simply wrong. And you as a company driver out there should really be getting paid on a rate per mile, or a salary that pretty much covers everything. I see that that's more and more popular out there, getting paid a salary, so $80,000, $85,000, and it really covers your 70 hours in 7 days. Now, the top 4 reasons of why truck drivers are leaving the industry is number 1, long hours and the stressful schedule. I mean, we all know being away from, even if you're a local driver, a highway driver, you're out on the road for 14 hours a day. By the time you get to work, by the time you get back, literally there's only 8 hours left for you to enjoy, sleeping or some time with your wife and kids. If you're a long haul truck driver, I mean, you're out on the road for what, almost a week at a time before you get home. You do your 36 hours reset and then you're back on the road. So this schedule, I mean, how long can drivers do this for? That's a big reason why drivers are leaving the industry. The second biggest reason is because of the low wages. Well, obviously truck drivers are going to leave the industry if it doesn't pay much. Who would sign up for something like this if it's really not a good pay? I mean, I can convince myself to do things that I don't really like to do as long as I'm getting paid really, really well for it. But once I see that I'm not getting paid well for it, how much longer am I going to stick around to an industry before I start looking for something else? So low wages is the second biggest problem in our industry. Third biggest reason is the work-life balance. Yes, it's very, very hard to balance a life with kids and also being away for a long time or being a long-haul truck driver. I mean, can you maintain a relationship while being on the road for 28 days at a time? Can you maintain a relationship when you're working 14 hours out of 24 hours, even if you're a local driver or if you're a regional driver? You gotta have a pretty understanding wife. Can you find yourself somebody that's gonna understand these crazy hours? And the fourth biggest reason why truck drivers are leaving the industry is because of health concerns. How long can your body take sitting I know from experience, sitting behind a desk for 12, 14 hours a day. I mean, it takes a toll on you, and it takes a toll on your body, on your mental health state. When you're behind the wheel for 11 hours a day or working 14 hours a day, for days and days at a time, 27, 26 days out of the month, to be away from the family, to be away from the kids, that is hard, and drivers are leaving the industry. But if it paid better, would they stay? I actually believe a lot of them would stay if the pay was a lot better. So through this video, I'm going to show you how drivers are getting stiffed by getting paid a gross sales instead of per mile, and they're actually working for a lot less money than they would if they were working on a pay per mile or a salary base. And that's what we're going to get into right now. So as promised, the pay statements. Now let's have a look over here. So this is a monthly pay statement for a truck driver that is running under 11,000 miles per month. Okay, so the driver here is getting paid 65 cents per mile. So if you take 11,000 miles, you multiply that by 65 cents per mile, driver's grossing out $7,150. Now, if we were to do a weekly pay statement, then we basically just take this number and divide it by 4. So we could do it over here, equals this number, and we divide it by 4, and that will give us a weekly pay statement of $1,787. Okay, so this is what drivers are supposed to be getting paid, a rate per mile, whether it's 65 cents, 68 cents, 64 cents, doesn't matter. It doesn't make that big of a difference. What makes a huge difference is when you start paying the driver a commission. Okay, So here is my commission pay statement that we're going to compare it to. So the same 11,000 miles, the driver is getting paid 25% of gross. Now, if he gets paid 25% of gross, he's getting $5,637 a month. Now, if you take this number, you divide it by 4 to get his weekly pay statement. Here we have $1,409. Now, $1,409 a week versus $1,787 a week is a big difference to take home every single week. Or if you're comparing it monthly, it's $7,150 versus $5,637. But let's count this in reverse. If somebody's getting paid 25% of their gross sales, and the gross sales based on today's national average at $2.05 per mile, he would be grossing out per month $22,550. Now, if we were to pay this driver 25% commission, he gets $5,637. But what does that equate to per mile? So if you take $5,637 and you divide that by 11,000 miles, you actually get that the driver made 51 cents per mile. And this is what I mean with these ads over here. I mean, 4 different ads I could give you an example of, and they always constantly pop up on my Facebook of positions paying 25% of gross, positions paying 26, 27% of gross. And this is what it comes out to. So drivers are actually working at 51 cents per mile. Now, let's say the driver was getting maybe, I don't know, let's take a better ad. Let's take the example where the driver is getting paid 28% of gross, or even 30. The highest one that I've seen is 30%. Okay, now you might think to yourself that 30% is a lot, but is it really? Let's have a look at what it does to the numbers. So the numbers actually get to $6,700, which is still less than getting paid 65 cents per mile. So now our national average is $2.05 per mile for the month of August. Now, can you imagine what's going to happen if the national average falls to $1.90 or $1.95? Well, first of all, our dealerships are going to have a lot more trucks than they have right now. Owner-operators are going to be literally just walking away from the trucks if they haven't done it already. If you're one of those drivers that want to get your Class 1 license, I can help you do that. I've created a general knowledge test. It's a multiple choice quiz that you can take, probably about 150 questions to help you get ready to get that learner's permit. Now, if you want access to those free tests, all you got to do is go into truckingacademy.us, go into tests, and then click on CDL, and you'll see over there that there's the general knowledge test, the air brakes, the hazmat. It'll help you get any one of your licenses, okay? Multiple choice questions. Just click the general knowledge test and go through all the questions over there to see how you score and to get you better prepared for that test. Now, what happens to a company driver that's getting paid gross per mile when the national average falls at $1.90? Then you're looking at even a bigger difference. Drivers will be working under 38, 39 cents per mile. So you need to make an end to this right now. You got to stop entertaining these positions with paying drivers gross sales. Drivers need to get paid per mile, or they need to get paid a salary. But under no circumstances should they be worried about what the national average is or how many miles they run. They should be getting paid per mile and a rate per mile. I'm Ronen, R-O-N-E-N, and I'll catch you in my next video.